Welcome to Lesson 2, How Great Thou Art workshop. Click on the link below for the sheet music and all the lessons. In Lesson 1, we had 3 E's in a row. I gave you a couple of options to do those 3 embellishments. The option I do that middle grace note, the G grace note, then the strike. This time, we have 3 E's in a row again coming off that C. But we don't really need embellishment on that first E because we're coming up from the C. So if you think of what I've done in the sheet music in the link below, I've just skipped that middle finger grace note and we just go straight to the E, and then we still have on the downbeat the G grace note and then that E strike. So coming from the C, so we ended off on C on lesson 1. So we're going C up to E, raise up that ring finger of the top hand, raise up that pinky finger, drop those middle 2 fingers to the low A position. So C to E. After we're on that E, then we have G grace note and then a strike. If it's a little bit complicated for you to use 2 different fingers, you do have the option to just do 2 G grace notes. And you do have the option to just do 2 E strikes. So those are options if you want to simplify it a little bit. For me, what I think sounds the best is going from the C up to the E and then do the G grace note and strike, just to mix up those embellishments a little bit. But if it's too much of a mix up, yeah, just do 2 of the same. And if that helps you get on the tune quicker and have a nice rhythm with the tune and play it for people, wonderful. So that's always an option. So this is what we got so far in this section. From that E, we're going to go up to the F. If you're not doing the G grace note, you can just simply raise that finger up, that middle finger of the top hand. In the sheet music below, I've done a G grace note there. So if you're doing that G grace note, top finger lifts first, second finger lifts, top finger comes down, and that's that G grace note. Either way, once you get up to that F, we have 2 Fs in a row. So even if you're trying not to do too many embellishments, you do have to sneak one in here. I've just done a strike. So, and that's quite a simple one. So you can just strike down with the middle finger, down and up. And that would be what you do once you're on that F. So here's what we got so far in this section. From there, we're going to go into the D. Now I'm going in with a D throw. If you're not doing the D throw, the note transition from that F to D will look like this. So that note transition, the bottom hand, the pinky finger has to drop down and you lift up all the other fingers. The top hand, those 2 ring fingers have to drop down at the same time that the bottom hand is doing its thing. So lots of fingers on the move here. So that's the note transition. And if you're going to do the D throw, I do a heavy D throw. So this is what a heavy D throw will sound like. Now in slow motion, we're going down to the low G, and then we do a D grace note with the top finger of the bottom hand. That's the first half of the D throw. There's the first half of the D throw. Second half of the D throw, we're already on that low G because we've come down to low G, done our D grace note. Second half of the D throw, we go up to C, lift up the middle 2 fingers, pinky stays down, and then we lift up the top finger of the bottom hand to go to D. So here's the second half of the D throw. So if we put the second half with the first half, here's what that D throw will look like in slow motion. And if if we slowly speed that up, that's an oxymoron or ironic statement. Let's slowly speed that up. So there's the heavy D throw, and there's a few different ways to do the throws. So if you don't do it quite that way, you've learned a different way. Don't get hung up on it. Just keep doing the D throws the way you like to do them. So that's our D throw. Let me play what we got so far. And I missed that G grace note on the F. So that was the less embellished version, apparently. So one more time here. From that D, we're going back up to the F. So we came from the F, we went to the D, now we're going back up. I do a doubling, but if you're not doing that F doubling, it'll just be the note transition. Bottom hand has to go to the low A position. At the same time, the top hand is going back to that F position. So we're lifting the bottom two fingers. So that's the note transition. Now if you're doing the F doubling, we're going to lift up the top finger first, as if we're doing a G grace note. You do your note transition, top finger comes down after all those fingers move, and then the top finger does a second up and down. So that top finger goes up and down twice. And here's what we got so far for this section. There's that F doubling at the end. And that's as far as we're going in this section. So let me play lesson 1 and 2 together. I'll do the embellishments as they're written in the sheet music, but of course I gave you a few options to simplify it, or let you know which embellishments you can take out if you like to simplify things. That's perfectly fine if it gets you going on the tune sooner rather than later. That's wonderful. So keep practicing. Can't wait to see you in lesson 3. And here's what we have so far.